What's up, y'all? What y'all doing? Yeah, I know. Child, we know that this is the first day of the diddler. Child, they say looking bad these days. That's what they say now. They said when nobody in court, they doing jury selection. And Tia asked me, she said, Doctor, you think you'll want to be on that jury? I, I said, I don't know. Because they probably going to be there some months. And, I got to take care of my mama. If you have probable reasons why you can't, if you're a primary caregiver for somebody, they do give some exception. But, I think this is the great downfall of the diddler. I told Tia, I said, I don't have any remorse. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't. Because I brought that case about Macy's. He ain't going out and allegedly raped no woman. He raped a man. Right there in the bay. Then got a whole thing of Sean Combs, whatever his line of clothing is, and we're passing them out to the people like it was nothing. That's what they say now. So, all of those things that he's did to other people, why wouldn't you think karma wouldn't come back to him? And they were saying, who's going to take the reign now? Why would anybody want to take it? This man thought he was above the law. He thought he could do any and everything. I'm just still trying to figure out about that baby oil. Much as they say, hey, what you were doing with it? People say, you slide in different parts and stuff. Not with all that. But he seemed like he was a freak. He seemed like it didn't matter who it was, what it was. He didn't have no self-control. He was like an animal. And they said his hair gray, his eyes are yellow, his teeth are yellow. If he was just randomly putting wherever they say he was, hell, y'all know he might got something. They just ain't telling us. Or don't have something. And they say he had all those drugs. Just imagine now. You went all those years with a substance in your body that controlled pretty much what you did. And honey, you ain't got it now. You got to face reality as it is. That's interesting. You must face reality as it is. Gotta face it. So that means that all those drugs and all those things he was taking. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying that stuff can't come into a jail or prison or wherever else. But it ain't going to come and the way he used to indulge in my opinion. And he's used to indulging in drugs and alcohol. And they say everything else. And I know they're going to try to find an impartial jury. But even if people do not know him in details like I don't, people still have seen some of the sick things that he's done. And what might seal his deal is when he did that Kathy Couture, when he was dragging her out there by that elevator. And I told y'all how he did Kim Porter. They said, he set her up not to be here no more. So do you think that he's just going to get off? See, that's one reason why people are allegedly saying that was, now before ahead of this trial, T.D. Jakes was stepping down. A lot of people's names going to be called, I believe. And everybody's name that's called ain't necessarily going to have anything to do with it. Because they said that the freak-off was at a different time than the regular. It's like it was a party and everybody had fun. Then now it's time for y'all to take y'all behinds home because now we finna get freaky. Pretty much what I read is, that's what it kind of said. And people want to say he's innocent and proven guilty. That's what our justice system tell us. But on public opinion, people been all saying people are guilty the whole time. And see, this is the thing that got trying to kind of get people when they says there's a reasonable doubt. And people say that before the diddler met Clyde Davis, that his mother did stuff in front of him and all of that. But you know, this is the problem that I have with monsters. And if he did everything they say he did, he's a monster. If somebody did effed up stuff to you, why would you want to do it to them? See, that's the thing I don't get. You can do what you want as far as a relationship, but if somebody mistreated and abused and did this to you, and you endured it, why would you want somebody else to endure? There are several siblings that have noticed or have, you know, thought that maybe somebody in the house was messing with them. They would just go on and do it so they wouldn't mess with the other sibling. Okay, you may be confused. Let me just start over. For instance, if Tia was my little sister, and I know old Joe Blow over here was coming in touching on me, I might endure if I don't have a mama that'll listen so they won't mess with her. You got it? A lot of people do that. I know y'all might say, yeah, yes, they do. They do it. A lot of people do it. And they don't know that that person is sick and they're already messing with the other one. You know, and some children are really scared to tell stuff. I have never been that way. You violate and you do something to me, I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell it till I can't tell it no more. But if you find somebody who's afraid, they're not going to do that. They're just not. Or somebody who's like naturally quiet, passive. They ain't going to do it. First of all, ain't nobody really going to do it to me because they scared I'm going to tell it anyway. They actually target people who are not going to say much. Would you agree with that? You know, children at a shelter. Ones that are kind of like in the background. Ain't nobody going to believe them or whatever. Almost like Celie on The Color Purple. You know? That stepfather would allow him to get Celie, but not Nettie. He wanted Nettie, but he said no. He gave Celie to the man. And then Celie had to end up, then Nettie had to end up and run. And then she came to Celie, and then she had to go on to Africa. We're talking about The Color Purple. I get it. He didn't want to give Nettie because he wanted Nettie too. It's some sick people. And I cannot get the image out of my head of imagine him going into Macy's, going into the stock room, and raping another man. He ain't got no preference like I told you. But I heard that the jurors was given a questionnaire. We don't know what's on the questionnaire yet. They're saying that Michael Myers or somebody, I never heard of him, and a Michael B. Jordan. Mm-hmm. He's an actor, right? That they were on the list. And probably several more other people we know that's on the list. But with the gray hairs and all this other stuff, it ain't been a year. It's reration. It's that you ain't got them drugs to keep your body in fuel with whatever foolery, allegedly. And then his family may not be there because they have attorneys too, because they have some lawsuits against them, don't they? So their attorneys may not have told them. They may have told them not to come. And then it may just be a jury selection and they don't need to come until everything really starts. I don't know. Stay tuned. Mm-hmm. We back on the dealer. Yeah. We gave Shannon Sharp a break just for the night. We're going to be back on him tomorrow. Y'all, this is your girl, sitting out knowing right here on YouTube and the knowing on Facebook with Tia.